Now it's up to you and Jerry to make game time decisions. We had some interesting air. That's a fun one.
Chris is at second.
Yeah.
Oh, I had them mixed up.
Yeah, Tam's at third.
Hey guys.
You said that
Chris
wrong.
is at 4. I did. He said Chris 4.
You said Chris 5.
Chris is 4.
All right, welcome to game number 2. Unfortunately, Central Penn fell in the first game of the doubleheader, dropping to 3-6 at us with a score of 24-12. All right. Colby Black's going to lead off here in game number 2. Quite the game in the first game of the doubleheader here. Chris Kiefer on the mound here. That's fouled straight back. Kiefer on the season has appeared in 2 games, started 1, 7 innings pitched, 9 earned for an 11.57 ERA. Joined here by Nightly News correspondent Tyler Coleman. Tyler, welcome to the broadcast. How's it going today?
Thank you for having me. It's been going great. Much better weather than we had Friday.
I got to tell you, for anyone who tuned in, you know, we were definitely a little spotty on the broadcast. I'll definitely give you that. We couldn't feel our hands. I couldn't even operate the camera. I couldn't write anything down. It was almost impossible to keep score of the game. Black reaches first base on a single there. Good play by Heckard, but just couldn't come up with it. Tyler, what were your impressions of the first game?
The first game was a little rough. You know, the first few innings looked good. You know, Central Penn jumped out to a 4-2 lead, but later in the 5th inning, Mont Alto batted around 3 times in the 5th inning with numerous different walks and errors, which really came back to hurt the Knights.
Graham did have to make an adjustment there, but did make the catch. 1 retired. That's going to bring up Hunter Martin to the plate. Mont Alto improves to 17-12 on the Knights' fall to 3-7 on the season.
After the last game, we're looking for the Knights to get off to a better start here.
Well, you know, Brian and I made this point last game as we wrapped up. It wasn't offensively that was an issue. But I'll tell you, that was one of the issues from game 1. The hit by pitch. Central Penn College pitchers hit 6 Mont Alto batters, 5 of them coming in to score. This is going to bring up Yonker. Yonker's having an incredible season. And that's tailing down the right field line. That's trouble, but it is foul. Yonker hitting .402 on the season with 10 doubles, 5 triples, 2 home runs, and 25 RBI.
That is a nice stat line.
I mean, anytime you're hitting over 400, that's acceptable,
yes,
right?
Yes, it is.
First and second, 1 out. Kiefer on the mound for the Knights. Hard drive to short. To second for 1. Double play. And that is what we were talking about early. Getting their cleanup hitter to ground into that double play. And after the top half of the first, the side is retired. No runs, 1 hit, no errors. And it's 0-0 moving to the bottom of the first. Tyler?
All right, Miller. So Career Services Annual Business Partner of the Year breakfast will be held from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 a.m. on Tuesday, June 4th in the Central Penn College Conference Center. This is a great way to network with students, alumni, faculty, staff, and representatives from a wide array of businesses. This year's event features a bit of a twist, as we will also be honoring 2 students as Interns of the Year.
And if you ever need any information about that, you can contact the Career Services office at careerservices@centralpenn.edu. We're going to go to the top of the 2nd inning here. Heckard, Arellano, Graham, Rosario coming up. Chris Rosario was the Nightly News Player of the Game for Game 1. Had 4 RBI and a home run that nearly hit the building out in left field. I think the ball's still flying. Heckard made some really nice plays there in the 1st inning. He's going to be coming up and leading off for the Knights.
See if the Knights can get off to a good start here and push across some early runs.
And on the mound for Mont Alto, number 2, Spencer Seaman. He is a freshman. He's appeared in 5 games this season, 8 innings pitched, 8 earned runs for an 8.31 ERA, 7 strikeouts, 7 walks. Heckard stands in. It looks like Seaman's got some gas, but he looked like he was having a little trouble locating there in his warm-up pitches.
Early base runners will be a key here for the Knights.
A little high and inside there to Heckard. Low and in the dirt. Heckard quickly works the count to 2 balls and no strikes. And a chopper to third to short. And boy, that was a close play there.
Very close play,
but a 6-3 put out.
nice throw from the shortstop just to get Heckard.
Heckard is retired. Gabe Arellano with an incredible game in the 1st tilt, reaching base 4 times. And Seaman, the windup and the pitch. Low, ball 1. You know, it's going to be sad at the end of the season when Arellano calls it a college career. He has been a fixture at the top of the Knights order for quite some time. And we're going to miss his veteran leadership. But we still have some time with him, so let's enjoy it while we can, right?
That's right.
Nice to see that wind calm down a little bit there, Tyler.
Oh, yes. It certainly seemed to clear up a little bit from the last game.
Yeah, that system moved through, and now it's a little bit more comfortable, although you can tell the temperatures are dropping.
Oh, yeah. A little bit chillier.
And that caught just the black there on the outside of the plate. Seaman the windup in the pitch. Wow. Nice curveball there, but is a ball. And Arellano works the count full. Graham on deck. And Arellano walks. Next up, the Knights' leading offensive player, Connor Graham, hitting .485, 1 home run, 11 RBI, 2 triples on the season. That's 16 of 33.
So there's the first base runner for the Knights. Let's see if they can push him across.
Wind played some havoc with his balls in the outfield in Game 1. Seems like this is much more baseball playing. Late breeze,
Yes.
maybe 5 to 10 miles an hour, but I'd say the gusts were probably 20 to 25 earlier, Tyler.
They were really picking up late in the game.
I think we got very lucky, though, that we got a couple of drops, but that was about it. Again, just caught the corner there. And Connor Graham, 1-1 count. Arellano on first. And that's going to make it through the hole there. And Arellano's digging for third. Graham went for second, and he makes it back in safe. But that's the second time first to third for Arellano. He did the first to third earlier on basically a play that maybe you wouldn't think that someone would go first to third on. Great secondary lead there, and he didn't stop. He just kept on running when he got to second. It almost looked like the left fielder was caught a little off guard.
Very good heads-up base running.
1 down, bottom 1. Nothing here in Game 2 of this doubleheader. And Tyler, I guess the good thing about playing 2 is you don't have to leave with a sour taste in your mouth after the loss.
That's
you got a
right.
chance to regroup and start over with a fresh slate.
Very quick turnaround, and score some early runs here would be helpful to get off to a good start.
And Kiefer got out of that first inning unscathed, so. And Graham's going. And now he's caught in a rundown. But Arellano, surprised Arellano didn't take off there, but Connor caught stealing. Well, still a runner at third, now 2 down. For the Nightly News player of the game from Game 1, Chris Rosario, a homer and 4 RBI. And if you can see that building out there in left field, Chris nearly left an indentation on the building. And Rosario quickly in an 0-2 hole.
His home run last game might have been one of the farthest hit home runs this season.
And there's another shot. I don't think that one's quite got the distance. And a long fly out for Rosario. What started off promising, unfortunately, went with no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 left. And that's going to take us to the top of the second. We'll be right back. It's 0-0, Knights and Mont Alto. Tyler?
All right, the Nightly News Media Club. The Nightly News Media Club at Central Penn College is looking for new members. Members have the opportunity to get hands-on experience writing for our student publication, The Nightly News, being a part of the Nightly News podcast, approaching its 90th episode, and being a part of the sports live stream broadcast. Stop by our booth at the Club Fair, April 10th from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m., or email the club advisor, Professor Paul Miller, at paulmiller@centralpenn.edu.
We're looking forward to the club fair tomorrow. We're hoping to get some new members here. We are going to try something a little different this term, Tyler. I know a lot of the students that we have are coming in Thursday night. We're going to have some club meetings on Thursday nights, so some of the evening students, such as yourself, will have the opportunity to participate in what we're doing as a club. So
Great way to keep people involved.
We will talk about that much more this week. I look forward to having you guys for class. We have a really cool class called Projects in Corporate Communication. And actually, Tyler, you're here for part of that class's project. So do you mind sharing with the audience a little bit about what your project's going to entail for the baseball team?
So our project for the upcoming class is pretty much going to include writing stories, keeping stat sheets of each game, gathering different information on both the Knights and their opponent on who they're playing, and just keeping track of the baseball team and putting together a packet at the end of the semester.
I'll tell you, a lot more goes into this than meets the eye. The amount of sort of behind-the-scenes work that goes into it, there's a lot going on there. All right, Kiefer, the windup in the pitch. We're going to start off here in the top of the second. Chase Fisher here, a monster first game. And a shot to the outfield. And that's going to hit the gap. But Fisher only is going to get a single. That is what having good outfield defense does for you. That could have been a double, but it was gotten to very quickly by... When you have Fulp and Arellano as center and right, I mean, you've got some tremendous speed.
Yes. Yeah, they were able to cut that ball off pretty quick to hold the runner at first.
Gonna bring up number 4, Joey Wunsch. He's a sophomore. 2 hits and 29 at-bats this year, and the second hit by pitch today. And that sets up first and second with no one out.
Hopefully it doesn't turn into a repeat with the hit by pitches like the first game.
It's gonna bring up Michael Node. Only played 5 games this season, only 9 at-bats. He's getting the start here. Just foul. Node is playing left field today. Went for the bunt there. Fouled it off. That's going to bring it to 2 strikes.
So with 2 strikes now, we'll see if he keeps the bunt on.
High and outside. Nothing, top 2 here. Central Penn dropped the first one 24-12 in this doubleheader, and that's a shot to left. But Graham tracking it, not as much wind. And the fly out. Coming up, Ethan Slusser. He's had 5 hits and 20 at-bats, hitting .250 on the season. No home runs, 1 RBI. He's the designated hitter today. Paletti keeping an eye on that runner at first. It's first and second. 1 down. Paul Miller, the advisor for the Nightly News Media Club, and responsible for putting on this broadcast. Sitting here with Tyler.
But it's been fun so far.
With baseball here, Tyler.
I started playing baseball at a young high school.
Operates, and we can join you for all of those matchups. Oh, and we will be, and Tom Davis in my contest here. First and second, and Arellano track. Nice second.
Do you use recent X film as Spike event is free and open?
Honestly, I can't believe that this in the first game. Maybe they are 17-12. Put out. He's pitched a dynamite first 2 innings. One down for played at the high school, but I've always been a fan in my mind. Rock University.
So what's your favorite part about the game of baseball?
I'm a big fan of. I don't think that there's any indication that. I was watching the.
Yeah, Yassi.
Not monotonous, you know. Does get on base. They are, which I think is an interesting. And are playing at this point. I mean, top there.
It's a very long.
Just peek out at third. Heel. Called errors.
Runners is really going to cost them.
The swinging strike 3.
Currently, Central contact student 728.
Some baseball games when I was a senior. I had to call several of the games that year, last season, and now I'm a Colby Black. What he's reached every at bat hit today. Pretty good.
So.
And that was fun. You know, we're always our own worst. You know, next time we hope all of our first times doing it proved. We've now
and having fun, right?
Well, that's the fact that I get a whole lot of people that can say that. And so far is a good thing. Just looking like the second coming of her at this round, and getting a big strike at the bottom of the third.
Look, weekends will have the opportunity to super sweeps. Registration.
The only run, and one of the nightly news play game.
Yeah, fullback one had a nice.
About that. Hello, outfield grass. A little trouble coming up with that. Get thrown. Run stealing, but I do have to a few players off. Down. First caught stealing. That kind of hurts. Oh, run! It's the 2-run blast. 480. Flew out in the first. 0 for 1 consecutive for Rosario that he wasn't happy with. Quick ball to short. With that said,
about the hot topics that all are welcome.
The club last term, that was a lot of fun. Appropriate for this Wednesday. It was something that they've the 4 PC Yonker hitting way back. And the once to the plate, hit in this run over 400. The guy
done a pretty good job keeping Mont Alto off the base.
Nice pitch there from Kiefer, and the 2-2 pitch. Oh. Ball 4. Get to as many games as can. I've family day tickets. You can still get $9 seat fans ticket, and it's going to be out for a while. I would imagine he's going to come down to
spend some time.
Do you think he's going to be a little bit more gun and him on base because he can bunt? Got a play, but cut off by Heckard. No, does have a son there. Get him out of it. It is
our spring therapy assistant.
In the net. This game's with a walk, a single, and a hit by pitch. McClure. And consecutive reach here. Flosser tags and to third, flat out and struck out. But Yonker, and he's tied.
Focus programs, college often.
I think that's online. I think that's what's certainly helps out.
Makes it
bring. Calls it. Number 7 comes down, and that's. And Siemens pitch short. Kiefer quickly 2 down.
Seems like the Knights ran into a few caught stealings today.
You know, 4 game time.
Film. Absolutely free.
Looking forward to that. This one, to me, is going to be one of the most unique. All right, extras. 4th. Definitely for 3 on the day with that base. Playing a little small ball here. Ebb and trying. And Rosario covers first. Dub. That's a 3. They're going to put Yonker. They're looking for a double play here. Chase Fisher. Over the shoulder catch from him. He did not. Parent sack fly. Heckard with the wherewithal to. Oh.
Talk about base running mistakes.
All right, so after the top of the 5th, we're still tied 3-3. Tyler?
No fee application. Did you know that Central Penn College, unlike some institutions, doesn't charge any type of fee for applying? It's absolutely free. Go to our website, centralpenn.edu, to apply.
Definitely wanted to welcome everybody to In the Net here for a beautiful afternoon. Got very lucky on, if you look at the sky now, not, you know, only just a couple clouds in the sky, but geez, earlier, if you go back to the tape from game 1, man, we just missed a massive thunderstorm and played right through it.
Got dark real quick last night.
Sorry, Tyler, go ahead.
I was about to say, you might say this is perfect baseball weather right now.
You know, this is just being greedy, but maybe not with these wind gusts. Yeah. So our material wouldn't be flying all over the place. But other than that, absolutely perfect temperature. I want to go back.
Runner at third didn't tag up after Heckard caught the ball, took off a little early, and the Knights had the heads up to throw the ball over to third and get the runner out.
And a really nice over-the-shoulder grab there. That looked like it was going to be trouble. 3 people converged. Fulp was there. Rosario was there, but Heckard came up with the catch. And we're here in the bottom 5, and it's 3-3. High foul ball. That's going to be out of play. What? Of all the balls out of play, still no cars hit. 2-2. And Paletti with a 2-2 count. And he goes down swinging. It's going to bring Christian Fulp. Looks like Fulp is coming out of the game.
For 4.
Pico's going to come into the game here. Not sure what's going on with Fulp. Straight back from Pico. low and inside. Pico fouls it off there. And a 2-2 count. One down after the Paletti strikeout. It's 3-3. And Pico goes down looking. I'll tell you, that's 5 Ks for Pico. Or excuse me, that's 5 Ks for Seaman. And that's going to bring us back to the top of the order as Quentin Heckard singled in the third, grounded out in the first. He's 1 for 2 on the day. You know, outside of that Connor Graham home run, Seaman's been efficient.
You can really see the break on his pitches.
Lined up the middle. That's going to be a base hit. And that's 2 straight hits for Heckard. Arellano walked in the first, fly out in the third. Definitely been one of the bright spots for the Knights today. Arellano, 226 on the season. Does lead the team in steals with 8. And that's foul and out of play.
I believe, did you have a stat last game on how many stolen bases they had for the Knights? 38 or something
yes.
like that?
On the season, 38 steals. And that's coming into today. I don't know that we've... Well, Chris Kiefer did have a steal earlier this game, so we may be ready to eclipse the 40 mark. Seaman right down the middle, line drive to center, and Arellano with the base hit. Now with 2 down, that's going to bring up Connor Graham, 2 for 2, a single, a home run, 2 RBI, and boy, would this be a time for a base hit. Anything to the outfield, Tyler, should score a run, especially with the speedy Heckard on second. And Seaman, the windup. The pitch is outside. 1-0.
See if the Knights can retake the lead here on a base hit.
Bottom 5. We're only playing 7 here, so this would be huge. Low again. I got to tell you, even though Connor Graham is statistically our best hitter, you do not want to walk him for Rosario.
Now that might be asking for trouble.
Graham found a pitch he liked, but just fouled it off, and it's 2-1. 2 down, bottom 5. It's 3-3. We're all tied up here in the bottom of the 5th from in the net in Palmyra. And that's going to go to the gap. And that is a home run. Connor Graham. A 3-run home run for Connor Graham. That makes it 6-3. That's now 5 RBIs for Connor Graham.
What a day Graham is having.
3 for 3. 2 dingers, 5 RBI. And guess what? That clears the bases for Rosario, now up 3 runs. Can Kiefer hold on? And the Knights are excited, to say the least. I mean, this would be huge to get this victory here, Tyler, after losing the first game in the fashion that they did. And there's a stroke right up the middle for Rosario.
Yeah, I think after the way the Knights kind of fell apart last game, this win would be a great confidence boost. Accelerated schedule. Central Penn's year-round accelerated schedule, composed of 4 11-week terms, enables full-time students to earn a bachelor's degree in 3 years. Fast-track your success with our accelerated terms.
I think that, to me, is one of probably the reason that a lot of people do attend Central Penn. To be able to get through a bachelor's degree in just 3 years, you're basically saving a year of your life, if you want to look at it that way. Get right out into the workforce. You run home run after 2 quick outs for the Knights, and it's 6-3. Knights lead. And Rivera shot to left. And now Chris Kiefer can help his own cause with first and second. That looks like that might be it for Seaman. And that's going to do it. Definitely pitched well, did strike out 5, but with 2 outs this inning has already allowed 3 to come across, 2 on base. And he's going to turn it over to number 30. That's Cameron Lee. He's appeared in 9 games, 1 win, 1 loss, 8 earned runs in 13 innings pitched, 7 strikeouts across those 13 innings. Lost and Found, the 5th student-created play. A group of students will work together to explore losing and falls. Remember, June 6th, 7th, and 8th, the 5th annual student-created play, Lost and Found. To the plate, 2 down in the bottom of the 5th. In the Brockmeyer show.
Yes, I have.
It's really where I'm getting some of this fictional baseball commentator.
That's a funny show. I believe the 2nd season is starting here in April.
This is actually season 3, and
season 3?
This week. Quickly in the hole 0-2, but manages to stay alive there. 1-2, huge. 2-2 count.
The Knights' bats have really come alive this inning. Let's see if they can keep.
And that's going to be out of play. Still a 2-2 count. That's down to 3rd, and it's booted. He made a big turn there. I thought he was going to keep going. Unfortunately, nearly tagged out, but does load the bases for Cam. Fortunately, maybe the brakes are going our way this game.
Come on, Killer.
Mont Alto. Oh, an amazing curveball there that's lined foul.
Come on, Killer.
If Cam reaches base, we will bat around this inning. Outside.
huge to help add to the Knights.
What a pitch. 2 strikeouts and then 6 consecutive base hits, followed by another strikeout. But Knights put 3 on.
Race Against Racism, annual 5K run walk through historic Lancaster. The race is scheduled for Saturday. Lancaster is home to the longest consecutive running Race Against Racism in the U.S. If interested in participating,
Top of the 6th inning here. Connor Graham. Kiefer back out there in line for the victory here if we can make it.
And Kiefer's pitched well. Let's see if he can keep it going here now that the Knights have regained the lead.
Like we got a pinch hitter here. It's going to be Nick Jacoby, star of the first game for Mont Alto. Top 6, Knights clinging to a 3-run lead. Low and outside, ball 1. Kiefer has struck out 3, has hit 3 batters, but the difference is not one of those batters has made it around to score, whereas 5 of 6 hit batsmen in game 1 scored for Mont Alto.
So have the Cubs played their home opener yet?
Yeah, they played yesterday, and that's when Lester got hurt.
Yeah.
10-0 they won. And a deep line shot down the left field line, but that will be foul. And that will move the count to full 3-2. Nick Jacoby, the senior, hitting .298 on the season, fouls that one off, stays alive. And Kiefer battles.
I saw the Red Sox got off to a slow start as well.
I still think it's a pretty big mistake for a lot of these teams not thinking about signing Craig Kimbrell, and I think that's going to come back to haunt them. And Jacoby strikes out looking. That's strikeout number 4 for Chris Kiefer. And I got to tell you, I'm extremely impressed with Kiefer's outing thus far, especially coming into this game with an ERA north of 10.
21-13.
That's certainly going to help. Looks like Node is being substituted. The pinch hitter, A.J. Millar, freshman, had a big first game. Unfortunately, so did most of the team for Mont Alto.
Well, you wouldn't know Kiefer's ERA was so high with the way he's pitched in this game.
Especially with this offense. I mean, their offense is really quite fantastic.
Yeah, Mont Alto scored well over 20 runs last game, so to hold them to 3 this game is very impressive.
1 down, top 6. Kiefer runs it to a 2-0 count. Millar. Quickly runs the count to 3-0. And lets him get away. Slusher, the DH, coming up. 0 for 1 today. Did get hit by a pitch. Strike. Catches the outside corner there. I got to tell you, Tyler, this game's much easier to keep score than the last, that's for sure. Just inside.
Yeah, the scoring last game really got out of hand in the 5th inning.
I believe they put 13 on the board in the 5th. Just a bit outside. Back to first. Kiefer keeping an eye on him. At this point, the runner, every run is important, but with the 3-run lead, I don't know if I'd be so overly concerned about the runner on first. You do want to keep the double play in order, though.
Yeah, be more focused on the hitter right now.
Runs the count to 3-1. And lets him go. After an early strikeout, walks the next 2 batters, and that brings up McClure. McClure, a hit, 2 RBI, 1 for 2 on the day. Singled back in the 4th. Rivera plays off the runner here. Not exactly sure what the strategy is, but that's going right to Rivera. And he cannot.
No, first.
Trying to figure out what the call is there.
Seems to be a little confusion right now.
All right, so infield fly called, but the runners advanced 2 bases, and a run did score there.
So scored a run and put a runner at third base.
I mean, at this point, I guess I'd take it for an out. And Coach Stern not happy with that call. Did you know that Central Penn has an esports team? The team competes in the Collegiate Rainbow Six Siege League and plays against other schools such as Dickinson College, Cincinnati University, and the University of Akron. If interested, please attend the weekly gaming club meeting on Thursdays at 4 p.m. in ETech 306. Well, Stern's argument was not heard. The infield fly rule, Rivera did not catch. Man, if he could have just caught that, it would have
avoided all that
confusion. Avoided all this confusion. All of that said, 2 down, and quickly out number 3. So, as I mentioned there, that actually wasn't necessarily the worst case scenario there, Tyler, having that infield fly happen. Unfortunate, and that does allow them to tack on a run, but it's Central Penn 6, Mont Alto 4.
Are you interested in a healthcare career? Central Penn offers 2-year programs in physical therapist assistant, occupational therapy assistant, and medical assisting, as well as a bachelor's program in healthcare management. For more information, visit our website at centralpenn.edu.
And we will quickly move to the bottom of the 6th. Remember, even on doubleheader rules at the collegiate level, only 2 7-inning games. That's actually minor league rules as well. I don't know if you knew that.
I did not know that.
Boy, I'll tell you, if it would stop being windy for 30 seconds, we would be in excellent shape over here.
Guess we can never have perfect weather.
Very good point.
A lot warmer than when we were here Friday.
I
but,
mean, that's an understatement.
I mean, it wasn't as windy the other day, though.
It was odd because I'm pretty good about braving the elements. I've had season tickets to the Washington football team for nearly a decade, and I've spent some time outside, but geez, never have I had a situation like that. My hands froze to the point where I couldn't even use the equipment. But hey, we made it. Paletti leads off here in the bottom of the 6th. He struck out twice today.
Hey, we made it on Friday, and the Knights got a victory. That's what matters.
Oh, and it was to be honest, I mean, you know, there's no better way to start the home opener. Obviously, we would have hoped it was a little nicer out, but we'll take the victory. We will be back with you April 19th for the next Knights home game. That will be just a single header. We do have 2 more double headers on the slate on the 23rd and 25th. Paletti, the 4-pitch walk there.
So you said you won't be here with us on the 19th?
No, I actually have orientation. I'm starting my doctoral program at Indiana University of Pennsylvania. So I will be there for my orientation day.
Congratulations on that. Looking forward to it.
I'm not really sure how to answer that. Of course I'm looking forward to it. All right, now Christian Fulp re-enters the game here. Flew out in the 3rd. And the bunt goes right back to the pitcher, but executes, nearly runs that one out. It's a 1-3. Paletti to second. Heckard at the top of the order with a runner in scoring position and only 1 out.
It'd be nice if the Knights could add on another run.
I think that they would like any kind of runs being tacked on here. 6-4. Knights lead by 2. Heckard 2 for 3 on the 2nd game of this double dip here today with 2 singles. Scored twice.
Come on, Q, bring him in, kid.
Nearly caught Paletti sleeping there on second.
Trying to add to the lead, the last thing you want to do is lose your base runners right now.
Well, and again, that's what's haunted the Knights in the first game, and it's definitely been a more solid, disciplined game here in game 2. Inside, that's going to go 3-0. And then you're going to get into the heart of the order. Arellano, who's only not been on base once, and Connor Graham, 2 home runs. Heckard takes a strike, but I like the take there. 3-0, and now 3-1.
That seems to be one of the unwritten rules in baseball. You have a 3-0 count. Generally, you're taking that next pitch.
I guess it depends who you are in a situation, but certainly in most cases, I would think so. That foul drives the count to full. 1 down. Paletti on second. Heckard steps in. And he's going to walk. Arellano 1 for 2 today, reached base twice, scored a run, made a fantastic play in right field. Lee still in the ball game. Does have dynamic stuff, but seems to have some issues controlling it. And Arellano, the stroke to the outfield. Takes a wicked bounce off of some type of rock. Paletti scores. Heckard's coming around. And he's in there. And while Arellano gets thrown out at third, 2-run score for the Knights. Credit Arellano with a double there.
Huge 2 runs to add to their lead.
Thrown out at third, but Paletti scores. Heckard scores from first. And that makes it 8-4. And those insurance runs are huge. Connor Graham now. Interesting choice for Arellano to run that out, especially with Graham coming up. But with that big hit, we'll take it. Graham, 3 for 3, 2 home runs, 5 RBI. That one's going to be out of play there. Still seem okay on the 0 cars hit today. There's got to be some type of insurance for this place for the cars that have to get hit here.
I believe we're both parked towards the back today.
You know what, that's funny because I was so close to the field on Friday and my car almost got hit 3 times, so I said I'm going to park a little bit further back. Connor Graham, a big game today. And outside, it's going to drive the count full with Rosario and Rivera due up. Arellano did get the second out of the inning, so 2 down here. And Graham. Nice dig from short, but boy, that was a close play. But Graham is retired with that 6-3 putout. But Gabe Arellano with a big double there, 2 RBI, and that's going to drive it to 8-4. And we're going to go to the top of the 7th. This could be it for Penn State Mont Alto. They got to score 4 to keep them in the ball game. It's 8-4, Central Penn.
Are you interested in pursuing a career in criminal justice, legal studies, homeland security, or information technology? Central Penn College offers more than 30 career-focused programs and flexible class formats, including in-person, online, and hybrid courses. For more information, visit our website at centralpenn.edu.
Well, Kiefer back out there. I mean, it's an incredible pitching performance, honestly. Kiefer struck out 3. Very odd infield fly rule play last inning. But fortunately, didn't hurt us too bad with only 1 run.
Only 1 run, and then it was a big help when the Knights were able to score 2 runs to tack on to their lead.
Those insurance runs are a big deal. And Kiefer looking for the complete game victory here. Nice pitch to get started here in the top of the 7th.
This really would be something if the Knights could bounce back after losing big in Game 1 to win Game 2.
I suppose that's what's great about baseball. You can lose 100-0 and it only counts as 1 loss. I guess that's could be said about all sports, but hey, everyone's got a bad game every once in a while. I think what's interesting is, you know, even your division winners only win about 90 games.
I know my Braves last year won the NL East with 90 wins.
Come on, keeper.
I think the Braves are a remarkably fun team to watch.
I'll tell you what, they're a team.
And a deep shot to dead center field. That's not coming back. Grady Topper with the home run. And that makes it 8-5. As we reach the middle of the order, this is going to be no easy feat for Kiefer. Still with a 3-run lead, though. It looks like this is Kiefer's game to win or lose. I don't see anybody warming.
Those 2 insurance runs are looking huge right now.
There's no question about that, especially with Yonker coming up next, who already has a home run in this game. Martin 0 for 2 on the afternoon. A little high. Exciting game here, 8-5, top 7. If Kiefer can retire the side, Knights victory. But Kiefer runs the count full. Or excuse me, 3-0 count to Hunter Martin. Does get that first strike there.
I think that's one of the best things about baseball is this quick turnaround. Might lose one night and the next day you turn around having another game.
Or 15 minutes later, as in the case of Central Penn. The 2 games between the doubleheader, we had about a 15-minute break that gave us a chance to basically get the lineups for the next game and go right into it. Well, Tyler, it's been my pleasure to join you today. Hopefully we can see a Knights victory here. Ugh. Just low. Martin with the walk. And that brings up Jeremiah Yonker, who represents not quite the tying run, but if he would reach base, the tying run would be.
It's been fun working with you here, Miller.
Well, like I said, hopefully this isn't the last time. Hopefully we, I know we have at least one more game. That's going to go to a shot to right. And that's going to be a home run. And that makes it 8-7. That's 2 home runs today for Yonker. And Kiefer, a remarkable outing, but the 7th inning was not kind. The Knights still lead 8-7, but with no one out. Kiefer is hanging in there.
The Knights really want Kiefer to try to finish this game off.
Well, to his defense, the next 3 have only, actually the next 5 guys have only gotten 3 hits on the afternoon. So maybe now that we've moved through Yonker, maybe hopefully Kiefer can get out of this jam here. Regardless of what happens, the Knights would have the bottom of the 7th to try to make a move here. And we could expect Rosario, Rivera, and Kiefer. So definitely some hope should Mont Alto plate another run here.
Well, let's hope we don't have to get to the bottom of the 7th and we can get a victory here.
Foul ball. 2 strikes.
1 and 2.
Just inside. It's 2-2 count. Kiefer could really use this batter. And that's to dead center. And Christian Fulp cannot come up with it. That's going to be an E8. And boy, is that a heartbreaker. This wind is just really wreaking havoc with the ball. I mean, you could see that ball in the air moving because of the wind.
Definitely not an easy play for Fulp to make.
And he's made so many good plays out there in center field today. We can't begrudge him this one, but boy, does that one hurt. And Jacoby. The bunt there. Kiefer does get the out. That is huge, the 1-3 put out there. But a runner in scoring position. Millar up to the plate. He walked and scored in the 6th. And boy, a nail biter. 1 down, a runner on second.
Certainly didn't see this coming.
They're going to intentionally walk him. He is the lead run. I don't want to say the winning run there. But they want to keep that double play in order because guess what, Tyler? A double play wins the game for the Knights. Slusser, the DH, hit by a pitch and walked 0 for 1 on the day. And a ground ball to short or second or even third could end this ball game.
The Knights have turned a few double plays today, so let's see if they can get another one here to end the game.
Inside. Definitely bold maneuver from Coach Bob Stern to intentionally walk Millar, but definitely makes sense.
Not trying to give Mont Alto more base runners, but you're certainly looking for the double play.
8-7, 1 out, top 7 in a 7-inning contest. Kiefer gets the all-important strike there. And he gets the second strike. And Slusser now in a hole 2-2. Called him for the balk. And that is a heartbreaker. However, still 2-2. Should he get the strikeout here? Do you walk the bases loaded? Keep that double play in order.
Keep the double play in order.
That's why they don't pay me to coach, and that's why they pay me to be the analyst. Just got a piece of that. Slusser, 2-2 count.
Tell you what, a game could bring upon some tough decisions, and that certainly would be one of them.
And he struck him out with by far the biggest strikeout of the day, and that brings up McClure, a single, 2 RBI, a flyout, and that odd infield fly play. But the bottom line is, if McClure is retired, this game is over. And a drive to right, Arellano cannot come up with it. And that plates 2 runs.
Gives Mont Alto the lead. Talk about clutch hitting.
And it's 9-8. Mont Alto. 2 down, a runner on second for Colby Black. And if Black would reach, Mont Alto would bat around. But all is not lost. Rosario and Rivera lead off the next inning, as does Kiefer. So maybe Kiefer could really help his own cause. And a quick 0-2 count. Let's get out of this inning and let's score some runs and let's get out of here. And Kiefer finally retires the side, but not before. 5 runs cross the plate here in the top of the 7th. We're going to go to the bottom of the 7th with Mont Alto clinging to a 1-run lead, 9-8.
Our spring term is here, and our 22 student clubs are ready to spring into action. Don't miss your opportunity to learn what these great groups are up to at the club fair, Wednesday, April 10th in the ATEC building. Student leaders will be on site to answer your questions from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Free pizza will be provided to participants.
Certainly look forward to that tomorrow. Well, we've got Rosario, Rivera, Kiefer. And boy, if we ever needed some base hits, this is the time. 9-8. Lee still on the mound. I guess at a minimum, at least these guys have seen Lee. This is in his 3rd inning of work.
More times a batter sees a pitcher, you'd think the advantage would lean more towards the hitter.
Oh, absolutely, no question. Especially for a team that they haven't played before. Maybe as they go, the pitcher might have the advantage, but certainly early, I would assume that the hitter would be at an advantage. Well, Chris Rosario, 1 for 3 on the day with a single. Hit a massive home run in game number 1. Boy, that would be nice right here. And it looks like okay, well, they let him warm up and didn't like the warm-up tosses.
Don't usually see that, where they let a pitcher warm up and then decide to pull him.
Number 7, Yonkers going to come in, and he's pitched 28 innings pitched this season. Does have a 4.50 ERA, 14 earned runs. Seems like an interesting time to bring him in, but 9-8, one of their best players. Let's see what he's got. And thus far has not thrown a strike in warm-ups. This has got to be an odd situation for him too. I mean, he's definitely a, you know, I don't want to call him a senior if he is not a senior. He is a senior. I mean, he's a senior, so he's seen these kinds of things before, and he's got some excellent movement on his pitches.
Seems to be high on every ball he's done.
It could be the wind. It could be who knows what. Certainly as high a leverage spot as you possibly can get. And we are going to move to the bottom of the 7th inning here. Remember, we're only playing 7. So it's Central Penn scores 1 to tie it and take it to extras, scores 2 to win it, or are retired and go home with a sweep.
Knights could push across a couple runs. We could see a walk-off.
Graham doing most of the damage in this game with a 3 for 4 day with 2 homers, 5 RBI. Rosario 1 for 3 on the day. Close pitch, but given a ball. Rosario saw his pitch, but fouled it off for a 1-1 count.
Seem to have some speed on that pitch.
He's definitely got some good stuff. Way outside. That's going to be a 2-1 count. Rosario comes up empty. That's going to bring the count to 2-2. And that's going to work the count full. 3-2. Nobody out in the inning. And it's 9-8 Mont Alto.
Leadoff base runner would be very helpful right now.
And he goes down swinging. And that's going to bring up Jared Rivera. Jared's 1 for 3 on the day. Singled in the 5th. On deck, Kiefer. He's got 2 singles today. Outside for ball 1. Big hack, but comes up empty. And Yonker. What a day.
The infill fly play that Rivera was involved in, that run is looking pretty big right now for Mont Alto.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yonker 2 home runs on just this game alone.
2-2.
And it looks like a 2-2 count. And boy, this is as big of a pitch as we've seen all day, Tyler. Just got a piece.
Staying alive. This Yonkers is really bringing the heat right now.
And he got him looking. Strike 3. And this is going to be a tough ride home unless Kiefer can keep it alive.
Having an 8-4 lead to give up the 5 runs in the top of the inning would be heartbreaking right now.
And takes a first pitch strike. Quickly 2 strikes, and Kiefer down to his last strike.
Bringing in Yonkers right now, looks like it's paying off.
It looks like a waste pitch there, trying to get Kiefer to fish with 2 strikes. And he strikes out the side. And Central Penn falls to 3-8 after a heartbreaking second game after unfortunately getting the 10-run rule in the first game. Played a much better team game there in the second one, but just couldn't pull it off, as Penn State Mont Alto is victorious in both games, 24-12 and 9-8. Tyler, thoughts?
Well, you got to give Mont Alto a lot of credit, you know, scoring 5 runs there in the top of the 7th, come back and win. But it's a heartbreaking loss for the Knights, but just like we talked about earlier, there's always another game.
Well, as I mentioned, we'll be back here with you on the 19th for another live broadcast. We are going to go to our nightly news player of the game here in just a few minutes. So hang with us here, and we will get the nightly news player of the game here shortly. All right, we are about to be joined by the Nightly News Player of the Game for game number 2, Connor Graham. Connor, 2 home runs, 4 RBIs in this game. Really the Knights' best offensive player so far this season. And here he comes. Connor, thanks for joining us. We're going to go down to Tyler. Tyler, take it away. Hold on one second. All right, Tyler, take it away. Well, it was a tough day for the Knights, but they gave it their all. Connor Graham, thank you very much. Nightly News Player of the Game for game number 2. Tyler Coleman, Brian Cristiano on the call today. It was a tough one out here, guys, but we braved the storm, and we hope the next time we join you that it'll be a little bit better of a game for the Knights. But until we see you again, signing off from In the Net here in Palmyra for Dylan Kleintop, Brian Cristiano, Andrew Day, Tyler Coleman, and myself, Paul Miller. We'll catch you on April 19th for the next Knights home baseball game. We'll see you then.